we're watching the other fighters go first. And first we see Matt Watson get the shit kicked out of him. And we're like, oh, is that how all the fights are gonna be?
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Visit betterhelp.com/Padilla because sometimes existing is exhausting. And if you want to watch this episode completely uncensored with no ads, no sponsorships, click the join button down below to become a member. Anyway. Hello, Michael Reeves.
What's up, guys?
I don't usually scream at my guests, but I feel like I just had to set the tone for how this is gonna go. I feel like this is gonna be insane.
If you're not screaming like every few minutes, I'll be like sorely disappointed.
I'm gonna revoke my access to my YouTube channel if we're not streaming at least once every 30 seconds.
Dude, I thought about doing a thing like that where if I don't upload a video to my YouTube channel like every month or something, it would delete all my videos.
Oh,
I was thinking about it as like a motivator because I don't upload enough.
Would that actually motivate you?
I don't know, dude. I would just give up on it.
On like day 29, you'd be like, it. How do you describe what you do? Because I mean, it's a little bit of
I usually just say robotics.
Robotics, yeah. Like if you're in an Uber and they're like,
yeah, that's what I was like.
What do you do for a living?
I say computer programmer. I lie. I lie.
You fib a little bit.
Yeah.
Why? Because it just stops the conversation there.
Not because it stops the conversation, but then it's like I don't have the same conversation again. I'm sure you've had the thing where you're like, I do this internet stuff, and someone else is like, what is that? And I'm like,
I guess you start to be able to anticipate where the conversation's gonna go. Because if you say, I do robotics on YouTube, then they say, what's your channel? I've had people looking at my channel while they're driving the Uber.
And you're like,
I'm like, bro, I am not gonna die in an Uber because you're looking at my YouTube channel.
Please stop.
So when it's not an Uber driver, do you just say robotics?
I say robotics, and usually that's like a pretty fun thing to talk about anyways,
yeah.
too. So
like, where does that conversation go?
That's a good middle ground. I'm like, I don't know, robot arms and stuff, I say. And we like talk about robots and stuff.
Do you talk about how you create a surgical robot that will follow your hands and you attach a knife to it and you would stab mannequins to death?
I just pretend it's like a real job. I'll be like, yeah, I work on surgery robots.
Like someone, and then they pull up the video and they're like, that's what he means. Your channel has over 7 million subscribers, sorry, and you average like 10 to 20 million views a video. Like people can't get enough of seeing what the you're gonna do next, like attaching a device to a Roomba so that when it crashes into a wall it screams, attaching a container of beer to a robotics dog, the Boston Dynamics robot dog, so it can piss beer into a cup, programming a Tickle Me Elmo so it can detect what race you are and say potentially racist or not racist things too depending on your race.
I like that one, yeah.
How do you feel about the fact that people call you a coding genius?
That's wrong. It's objectively wrong.
Yeah. Why?
I mean, the code is okay. It's definitely not anything special though. Like I think if anyone is like good at coding, they'll be like, oh, he's all right at coding. But then that person like doesn't know about like robotics, you know?
Yeah.
And then the person who's good at robotics are like, that was okay for robotics, but like not a lot of people like know all the bits. I'm just like really just not that good, but I do a lot of stuff.
It seems like you are good at so many elements that brings your videos together in such a big way, because it's not just the coding or the robotics, it's also there's an element of storytelling there. You're putting together a YouTube video. You're finding ways to keep up audience retention and things like that. I feel like people, when they're really into robotics and coding, they might not be as good at storytelling. They might not be as good at the comedy side of it. Yeah. You know, like you find a way to mash it all together, and in the end, even though it takes so much technical skill, you still find a way to present it where it just kind of feels like you're watching a meme come to life.
Yeah. I don't know where that comes from. I never.
Do you have a degree in coding and all that?
No, I don't got degrees in anything.
Were you like leading toward that at some point?
I was. I went to like 1 year of college, but it was, I don't know, I was a really bad student. I almost failed high school, so.
You almost failed high school?
Yeah, I had a couple things where I almost couldn't graduate, but I went back and did them right before. But yeah, no, I didn't get a degree in anything. I went for 1 year of coding at Northern Arizona University. F you, Northern Arizona University.
Yeah, Wait, why are we saying you?
They suck.
Why?
Their comp sci program was like good, but there was no like room to like test out of a class, because it wasn't like, oh, me, I should be able to test out, but it was like I was working in software development before I went to college to like pay for college. So then I like got to college and they were like, you cannot test out. Oh, also you have to like take 2 semesters because our coding classes are full of other shit. Like don't even start your like degree stuff yet.
So they force you to do a bunch of useless stuff.
They forced me to do a bunch of useless stuff. Yeah, and also I was like, you know, you're sitting in coding class one day learning like the intro to this language, and you then go back to your dorm room and like do your job, which is coding, to pay to get intro classes in coding. And it's like, that doesn't make sense.
Just because it's required?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you feel like there was anything in your life that did contribute to you wanting to create your own thing?
I think, I don't know where it comes from, but I generally have like a problem with authority. So like just, getting away from that, and like, so I've been trying to do stuff where I don't have like a boss.
You did that for yourself.
Yeah.
Did they want you to be something different?
Not specifically. They wanted me to go to like, college and like do all the right stuff.
Yeah.
But I did all the wrong stuff and it worked out somehow. Which is not, I don't know if that's good advice still, but.
Did that give you satisfaction knowing that you were able to prove that the thing that you invested your time in instead of
immensely.
school,
Yeah.
it paid off literally?
Satisfaction, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. It's like someone tells you like you should stop doing it and you keep doing it and it works out. It's like, yeah, of course.
You're like, you.
Yeah, yeah. I was just bad in all classes. I failed like a year of Japanese and a year of Hawaiian history. That one was the teacher's fault though. And then like, I don't know, I realized I had like no prospects after high school. And I had like a girlfriend at the time and I was like, we're just not gonna have money to do anything to like live in a house or whatever. So I just kind of like sat down and learned one thing. And I was like, oh yeah, coding's probably get some good money from that.
So you made the money so you could go to the college to get the degree for the thing that you already used, that you taught yourself to do in order to get there in the first place.
Yeah.
So then you dropped out?
So then I dropped out after a year.
And you're like, this, I don't need this anymore?
Yeah.
Is that when you decided you want to start making videos on YouTube?
I started like a little bit in college. It was during like the timeline of, I was still working at remotely from that job. I was getting like kind of bored of doing the same thing over. So I was like, hey, I'll make a fun, quirky like thing. Cause I would kind of do that before. And for first I like built the thing. I was like, hey, let's make it point lasers in your eyes. Like I know some, like I would like to learn about like computer vision, and lasers are cool to me. And I can buy them on Amazon for like, 30 cents. And I had like a lav mic that cost like $12. And I was like, I'll just make a YouTube video about it.
What drew you to YouTube? Were you already a fan of?
Oh dude, yeah, I love YouTube. I used to like come home middle school, like that's probably why I was a bad student, dude. I'd like come home and like watch, I don't know, like 4-6 hours sometimes every day. I was super into Smosh.
Shit.
Yeah,
I didn't know you were into Smosh.
Dude, yeah.
I thought you were into like Filthy Frank.
Well, I was. But those are different eras of YouTube.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought ink was made out of beef for a while because of one of those gags. I looked like a silly fool in front of my mom.
Wait,
telling
did you
her
for real think ink was made out of beef?
I didn't know how ink was made. For all I was new to the world.
The line is, you know what ink's made out of? Beef!
I was like, is it? Maybe it is. So I told my mom it was made out of beef when I was like very young.
Your mom is like, this child is so stupid.
I think she played along. She was like, I don't know, maybe it is.
So did you start doing YouTube because you're like, I need money? Or was it just like,
No,
this looks
super
fun?
not. No, it looked fun, and it was like, I already built the thing, like I may as well.
Oh, did you already build the robot that shine laser?
Yeah, it was like totally done at the end.
And did you make that just for fun?
Yeah, I made that just for fun. I made it
So
out
you're
of-
like, I made a thing just for fun, might as well turn it into a
yeah,
YouTube video just for
it's
fun.
like I already got the thing. I may as well make the YouTube video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did that one immediately pop off?
That one like got lucky on Reddit. They were super enjoyed it. They liked that I made it out of a pizza box. I liked that I made it out of a pizza box and an old microwave transformer that people throw their microwaves out. Like there's a trash day at the college. So I would just go out, get the electronics, and bring them into my dorm room and like take them apart.
See how you can repurpose everything?
Yeah. So much free shit on college campuses. If you need free electronics, go there on their trash day. It's so good.
So you make this video, it pops off a little bit. Are you like, this is it for me, I'm gonna make
No,
more
I
of
was like,
this?
oh, that's cool.
Yeah?
I was like, oh, that's cool. That's neat.
When did you start taking it more seriously?
Never, up until this day.
I guess, well, you make a video how often?
Not a lot. I should be working on it right now, actually.
Is it like one every 3 to 6 months?
Probably longer, but
But these things take so long to make,
not
man.
that long.
Really?
I play Fortnite, dude.
They don't take that long to make?
They don't take that long. Well, I mean, they
Dude,
don't
look
take as
insane.
long as like 6 months. Yeah, they shouldn't take 6 months. Like if I just worked on it every day, it should take like a few, like 2 or 3 months.
Which is still a long time.
Yeah, but I take a lot of like, I just like go do something super random in the garage for like 3 weeks. Like my own personal project.
Well, you kind of have to though to get to remain inspired and not be burnt out, right? If you were
that's
doing
true. Yeah.
nothing
See,
but
that's
working
what I
on this,
say. That's what I say. When people are like, you should just work on it all the time, I'm like, in the long term, that'll be because
Yeah.
I won't like it anymore.
what is the process like? creating one of these videos? Because it takes 6 months, maybe takes 3 months of work.
Start a Minecraft server with your friends. That's epic.
Very important.
Spend like 3 weeks on that. Find like a new thing to work on that's completely unrelated in the garage. And then I think you end up with like an idea after that.
So you get the idea, and then you're like, let's do this? Or do you have
Yeah.
to figure out if it's worth doing? Because, I mean, if they take 3 months of work, you can't start sinking time into creating
Yeah.
and like programming something when it doesn't end up being it.
Yeah, it's usually based on like if it sounds fun, and then like if it sounds fun, then I'll like try to make it like for a while, just to see like if I can do it and it will work. And once it gets past the point of like, okay, this is like I've gotten far enough where I know it's gonna probably work. Then I like fully commit to like just building it and doing whatever's. I usually try to build as much as I can before I start the video though.
Have you ever started to make something, invested a bunch of time into it, and realized like this is a shitty video?
Not yet, no. I've gotten like really good at just like shooting the idea in the head really fast.
Yeah,
Before
yeah.
it gets to that point.
I'm sure that you have a bunch of ideas you've thrown out.
Yeah, a couple, a few that I've thrown out.
Do you have any that you want to say?
Yeah, like I had the idea for like a baby killing drone. Well, like as a joke, obviously, like it wouldn't kill babies, right? But like,
Like, this is a bit too much. There's gonna be a little bit of blood on my hand.
it got out of the house really
Yeah.
fast. Yeah, that one's a good idea. Big metal piston spike on it, you know?
Oh, just a like to the head?
Like comes down and just goes, like uses a vision. I won't talk about it anymore.
I feel like that's kind of scary because that could legitimately be made just to be used on
Yeah,
just
it's
people.
crazy that just like an asshole could kind of cobble together something like that.
I think that's one of the scariest things about our future is just the type of shit that people will be doing with drones.
Dude, drones and AI, I don't know where it's going.
Oh,
It's just
is
crazy.
that scary from your perspective too? Like with what you know?
It's a little scary, but it's like I've just accepted that the future is gonna be like irreparably changed for good or better.
Are you kind of like hoping you're dead before then?
No, I want to see what happens.
You want the drone to
I want
kill
to see what
you.
happens. I want to be post AI, pre climate crisis. I don't want to be on like burning Earth, but I
Yeah.
want to see AI revolution.
So you want to see the drones with the flamethrowers attached to them that are controlled by AI?
Maybe when like as I'm going out,
Right. Or
like Skynet drops as I'm like 75 on the hospice bed.
if you could choose, would you be
65.
killed by AI?
Yeah, dude, I'd take it.
In your 80s, 90s?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
just-
think it would be funny to get like a fun way, you know.
Like choose your own
Choose
death?
your own adventure. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
but it's like
maybe
with
the hospice bed crumbles me up into like just crunches me, like eats me, or like I don't know. Yeah, just a drone tosses me into the water.
Do you do your videos all by yourself, like every single element?
Yeah.
That's insane. Why do you like it that way?
I do like it that way. Yeah, I like it that way. I edit it in like a weird way where it'd be hard to pass off to an editor. I'd said this a million times, but like I film the intro and then like I go and I edit it. Like I film it with the camera and then I go back and I like edit it together like 90% of the or like 80% of the way in the editing, and then I'm like, okay, this is what needs to happen next, and then I go film that, come back in like 30 to like a minute long segments, and I just like pinball until the video is done, or I can't do it anymore.
That makes sense actually, because your content it is all over the place, but it's really, really tight and really, really focused by the time it gets on screen.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you not think so?
I don't know, dude.
I feel like an old person would be like, I can't keep up with all this shit.
Yeah, I have to do it because I don't write like a script or anything. So I just like, you kind of, the editing, the like timeline is the script.
But it helps when you see it in the timeline and
Yeah.
you know exactly what you're gonna
Yeah,
get.
you're like, this needs to happen next. Obviously,
Yeah.
this needs to happen next.
I feel like that is the most efficient way to get a really solid video, but just not efficient for anything else.
Not efficient for it. Yeah, not
efficient for
time,
your mental
not
health.
mental. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I do like it though, because it feels like I don't like doing it in like chunks, you know, where like
Yeah.
I have to film shit for like, you know, a few hours or something, and then I'm like, oh, I have to edit for like a week.
I feel like there's an element to your videos that is really unique to you. Like, of course, your personality comes through, but I think that one of the strongest things that comes through is your fearlessness. Even in your most recent video with you getting the bike, you drove by yourself to get this bike, bought it from someone, took the bike out into a desert by yourself. You rode around during, you got sandstorm notifications that you're about to be derooted.
I thought that shit was, I thought that shit was fake.
and then you were literally got stuck in a sandstorm, like, and you found a way to stay uplifted and upbeat The whole time?
Well, otherwise I'm gonna die. So.
So what is that mentality about? Because it's a special thing.
I don't know if you're. I mean, like, if you're gonna die, you may as well be upbeat, bro. If it's going bad, like, why would you want to feel bad?
A lot of people would freak the f out though. They don't get that choice. A lot of people don't have the ability to say, do I want to be, excited about and happy about this moment or not?
Man, you're gonna die anyway. Dude,
So
someday.
Do you know where that view comes from?
No, I'm not sure.
Do you think that's why you were able to kind of brush it off the whole time, or do you think that you're just like that?
I think it helped, but I mean, I think it would have been fine.
How are you able to go through life just everything's fine?
It's because it probably is until you die.
It has been fine for you, but I think it's an interesting mentality because not many people have that. Not many people have the option, you know, of like, do I want to be stressed out by this, or do I just want to be like, oh, life is up and then you die.
Yeah.
You know, life is either fun or life is stressful. Like you have that choice.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea where it comes from?
Well, I mean, like, I was of
choice?
that mindset like before I started doing any of this, so you know, it's kind of just carried through.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's like a result of like YouTube or anything.
Have you always been like that?
I don't know. Maybe it was like dude, I don't know. There were like times where it was like I'm not really sure what like my future will look like without like any prospects for school and stuff. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it.
So everything's kind of worked out.
Yeah, just keeping it, you know. Yeah.
If you just keep a it mentality, everything works out pretty well.
I guess so. I mean, it, but you know, still try to do stuff. Like, it's not like go to sleep.
I think it takes that special kind of mentality in order to make the videos that you make. Because if you had really high expectations for your surgery robot to like be able to peel a grape, you know, be able to peel the skin off a grape, for example, like if you wanted to make something that was really good and then it ends up not being good at all,
Yeah.
then you're gonna get stressed out.
Well, if it sucks, it's still kind of funny, you know? Kind of, right?
So your idea is like, as long as it's funny?
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's a good time, right? Like, why I don't need to peel a grape for the surgery. Like, someone else does that.
Yeah. Do you think that mentality applies to other things in your life, or do you think it's just the videos?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. Probably other
It's
stuff.
time to think about it right now.
Time to face this. Well, sometimes I freak out and like I want like something to look a certain way, but I mean, in the overarching, it's all kind of okay. You know, like if a robot doesn't work like exactly how I want it to work, I'm confident that I'm able to get it at least like some of the way there to at least the point where, I don't know, it like falls on the ground and it catches on fire. It's still kind of fun, and it's still fun for me to make, even though it sucks. Like, objectively, it's bad. You know, it's like, it's still all right.
Do you have a current hobby outside of robotics, or do you apply robotics and engineering into your hobbies as well?
Well, I mean, it's all in this similar vein. Shit, recently I got a lathe, so I've been learning how to do that. It's like
lathe?
a lathe is like, it like turns metal so you can cut it down to specific diameters and stuff. That's kind of my hobby right now, that maybe will lead into being useful for some other shit. But like,
shit.
Motorcycles. That's like, kind of like what I do to blow off steam, but also I like work on it myself, so it's still engineering-y.
I mean, you just got done winning a boxing match. By the way, this show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Oftentimes in life, we're faced with tough decisions and the path forward is not always clear. No matter what you're dealing with, whether it's anxiety, depression, or thoughts that keep you up at night, therapy can help you stay connected as you navigate life, and trusting yourself to make decisions that align with your values is like anything. The more you practice it, the easier it gets. As I'm sure many of you know by now, I've been a huge proponent of therapy since I started going about 6 years ago. It's been hugely helpful in giving me the empathy to understand my past self, which has in turn allowed me to better understand my current self. So if you've been thinking about starting therapy, BetterHelp might be perfect for you. It's 100% online and designed to work around your schedule. All you have to do is fill out a brief questionnaire and you'll be matched with a certified and licensed therapist. Plus, you can switch therapists at any time for no additional cost. Get a break from your thoughts with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Padilla today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Padilla. Now back to the world of Michael Reeves. I mean, you just got done winning a boxing match.
Yeah.
You got a TKO in the second round.
Second round TKO, yeah, that was fun.
So, I mean, a lot of your day for a while was just dedicated
Dude,
to training.
crazy. Yeah, that one was like a microcosm of intense fear. Like a very good example of like being so afraid of something that I have to work on it. Like every time I felt the fear, I was like, go to the gym.
So is that why you thought about creating the thing where if you didn't upload a video every 30 days, you would delete your channel?
I was thinking about it, but then I was like,
same mentality.
that might stress me out to the point of death.
Yeah. First of all, you get an offer to fight in
Dude,
Creator
from
Clash.
iDubbbz, it was
Yeah.
like, I was like, I see iDubbbz is in the similar thing of like Smosh, where I've been watching it just for forever.
Yeah.
And I was like, at William Osman was doing like he was filming a video, and Ian was there. And like I'd met Ian before, but like just in the moment, he was like, "Hey, you wanna go boxing?" And like, dude, like time stopped. I was like, I was gonna say no, but I was like, this is Ian iDubbbz, who I watched since like middle school, asking me if I want to do boxing. Like it's so absurd that I was like, yes.
He asked me and I said no.
Yeah, next year, dude.
Just like, nah.
Next year?
Nah.
Hey, good,
I don't
next
want
year.
cauliflower ear. I don't want brain damage.
You're not even gonna get cauliflower ear.
Bro.
Brain damage.
Have you seen
maybe.
cauliflower ear?
Brain damage, maybe.
I'm scared of that. And brain damage, a little bit.
I can see brain damage.
I'm more afraid of the cauliflower ear.
If you wear headgear, you don't get hit in the ears.
All right, fine. Everyone wants Ian Hecox and I to fight.
That would be.
But my reach is too long.
I think, yeah. You gotta fight within like your body type.
Yeah, and Ian said he would only fight a child. So.
Yeah, okay, that would make sense. Dude,
Yeah.
It. Me and Ian go?
Yeah, there we go. You're a child. Yeah. Essentially. So you agree to do this, and then do you realize in that moment that you agreed that you would have to train so much?
Dude, that shit came later. That realization happened after I got home.
How much training was that?
A lot, plenty. Like, I mean, well, so like the standard was like, it was like 5 or 6 days a week, and like a couple hours a day. And we just like, do pad work, do like bag drills, do like footwork drills, do a bunch of shit for like an hour. Huh?
Were you physically fit beforehand?
I had been in the past, but it was like 6 months of like just not going to the gym and then right back into it. But I'm familiar with going to the gym and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was like not too bad to get back into, but it was intense stuff for a while. Like a lot of it's cardio, so I went running before I even started training to lead into it. Yeah, so it was a lot of conditioning. It was a ton. Like some days, on the day off, I would still do it just because I was like, dude, what if the other guys doing it today?
Fear-based.
Fear-based. And then there was another level of like I should get a video out of this. And so that was like compounded onto it. I was like, for the video to end well, I should probably maybe not win, but do decent in this fight. This fight will affect the video.
Yeah.
And so I was like, that's another level of shit. My first sparring session, I almost cried. Not because I got hit really hard, but because I've never been in like a fist fight before. And like my coach was hitting me and I was like, you're my friend. Like, why are you hitting me?
Did it actually piss you off?
It didn't piss me off. It was just like a weird rush of emotions for the first one that I was not expecting. Because you don't know what's gonna, you're getting hit in the face. It's weird. I wouldn't describe it as like sad or angering. It was like weird.
It like brings up something like
a lot of just random emotions.
Like primal?
I guess. Yeah, it was like, why are you hitting me? And obviously they're just helping me train.
Yeah.
But
I feel like you can't help but feel that.
Yeah, you're getting hit in the head, and that's like your caveman instincts to react to that, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to bring that down. But the second sparring session was better though.
What did it feel like getting out there in the ring on the day? Like, did you feel like you were prepared?
Dude, it felt like I was on drugs or something. I was like, I don't know. It was just like very, I was just floating to the ring.
Complete dissociation.
Disassociation. That was a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I don't remember what it felt like in the ring. It was like, I don't remember what the crowd sounded like.
Was that anxiety?
So much anxiety, yeah. Well, yeah, like the day of, I flew into Florida, I didn't really eat much. I didn't really talk to that many people. I tried to talk to get my mind off of it.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of sitting in the room, my hotel room, and then being anxious and then just going in the mirror and shadow boxing. Because I was like, I should train more, even though it's like a day away.
You feel like you were never prepared enough?
Yeah. Every time I landed and immediately went on run.
Yeah.
Yeah. Immediately started training. It was like, even though you shouldn't be training that hard.
Yeah, is that overtraining?
You definitely shouldn't do it too intensely leading up to it. And you super shouldn't be sparring leading up to it. I didn't spar. I didn't spar as I got there.
Yeah.
There's no one the same size as me, so.
You don't remember do you remember people chanting your name?
Dude, I remember people chanting, twist his dick. That kind of took me out of it, which was good. Everyone started, twist his dick. And, the old dick twist, right?
Oh, the old dick twist.
That gave me a giggle, and I was really happy that happened. That kind of got me out of the whole thing. I was like, okay.
It got you back in reality.
Dude, yeah, but walking to the ring, I barely remember walking there.
Yeah.
There was a lot, dude, the night, sitting in the locker room, I've never had that vibe in the air of dude, it was crazy. It was such a palpable feeling in the room, especially because we had a TV set up, and we're watching the other fighters go first. And first we see Matt Watson get the shit kicked out of him. And we're like, oh, is that how all the fights are gonna be? It was crazy. Yeah, Matt Watson was also in our locker room. So I don't know what the feelings were like in the other locker room, but we were like, when he came back. Everyone was just like so, I don't know, everyone was very quiet. And I was just like silent listening to music.
Did you see flashes of you being in that position?
Dude, I don't know what, I was just in my head. Like I was just like earbuds in, stare at the ground, don't talk to anybody for the whole, like the entire lead up to the fight.
Can't even imagine.
It was so nerve-wracking.
It's like that feeling of like, I'm going to possibly get the shit beat out of me.
Yeah, I gotta go in there too.
Yeah. Well, and like, even if you don't get the shit beat out of you, even if you win, it's still so intense. Like,
oh yeah.
it's not like, oh, I'm confident I'm gonna win, so I'm not worried. I'm not stressed.
Dude, no one was like that.
Yeah.
If you're like that, you probably will lose.
That's true.
Yeah.
So in a sense, the worry, the stress, the anxiety almost leads you to potentially win. It's necessary.
I mean, it didn't hurt with the helping me train, I guess. Dude, oh, it was super funny. They wrap my hands. And once you get your hands wrapped, like the commission has to sign off on them. Like, because, so they know you're not putting like concrete cinder blocks in your fist. So they wrap it and then they sign off. And then also they sign off on your gloves. They put your gloves on, so you're not able to use your hands for maybe like half an hour until like the fight. Dude, I had to piss so bad.
Oh, damn.
And
do they have like a piss boy that just helps you like?
Dude, it was my coach's friend, like, we just went in the stall together. He was like, hey, I've done this before. He was like, I know this is weird, but hey, this is how it is. And we just went in the room and he was just behind me and like Titanicked me and just like pulled it down. And he knew.
Is he holding your wiener?
No. He was like masterfully manipulating the pants strap.
Oh,
like, you know how
the pants strap goes low and then you bring it back up.
Yeah, no contact type of thing.
Got it.
Also, I had gloves on, but like.
Yeah. And you're
I trusted. I was in good hands, dude. I was just super. I trusted him the whole time.
You were in the only hands because you had none.
Yeah.
You're like,
shit, dude. Then he pulled it back up and he like patted me on the back. I was like,
yeah. Did he shake it off for
that's
you?
good. No, dude, no.
You just got a little piss stain
I had
in
to
your
suck
pants?
it back up. And
Oh yeah, right back in.
Yeah. That was good. That was a nice bonding experience before the fight.
So now you're BFFs.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
my boy,
Yeah.
Larry.
So what's next? I mean, you're constantly filling your time with stuff. Do you have something that you're filling your time with now that you got? Do you have something big planned?
Well, I'm working on like a couple video ideas that I was just like sinking my time into. I also am working on like some motorcycle stuff in the garage. Tinkering, yeah. With stuff. Oh, dude, I built a Barbie scooter that like, I took like a child's Barbie moped and strapped a bunch of batteries and a stronger motor, and now it goes like 35, 40 miles an hour.
Holy shit.
It's so fun.
And it's just like a little...
Like a child, like you probably can
Like a razor scooter type of setup.
Like well, you sit on it, like it's like a,
it's got a
baby
seat?
moped. Yeah, it's got a seat. It's like a moped, just like a third of the size.
Dude, 35 miles
that's
an hour,
awesome.
you will get killed.
Dude, that thing's awesome. It's so good.
Did you take it out on the street?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
shit.
Dude, that's fun. That's a fun like personal project that I just would not make a video about, but it was super fun.
So in terms of what's actually next,
For YouTube?
working on a couple projects
Yeah.
that you can't talk
I got
about
like
yet?
two coming down the pipe. One has to do with like bird scooters, and then one is like,
Are you modifying a bird scooter?
dude, I don't, maybe. Shit, maybe.
Oh, shit.
Shit's free, dude.
Oh shit.
They're free. They just leave them on the side of the road.
And then you just steal them and hack them?
You just leave them outside, dude. You just take it home. You shouldn't. They have GPS tracking.
Yeah, can't you get rid of that?
You totally could, yeah.
So
Dude, for a while, I was thinking about like I shouldn't say this. I don't know. I feel like it's a good idea though. I won't do it though. But like,
Okay.
dude, if you go on Facebook Marketplace, the amount of people selling just a f***ing bird scooter is so funny.
that they just remove the GPS or what?
Sometimes they try to just sell it as is, but sometimes they do remove the GPS and like just make it, throttle. And
Yeah.
then, so you don't have to go through the phone app.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I was like, what if I sold a kit that allows people to turn a free bird scooter into their own personal bird scooter? And I just sold the kit. Like, I wasn't doing the crime, but I gave it to people. But I think that's in the same vein of like 3D printing guns and like uploading the file.
You're like,
It's
I didn't kill the person. I just
it.
made the blueprint.
It's like a weird gray area. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm confident saying that I won't make that. So
Okay.
Yeah.
So not going
Not
to
that.
provide the kit so that people can steal someone else's property.
and detailed instructions.